So the V-Rising full release is right around the corner. V-Rising 1.0 drops on May the 8th. This is a game that I'm incredibly excited about. We will be playing it a lot on the channel. We'll be streaming it a lot over at twitch.tv/BDLG. Stream over there every Wednesday through Friday. If you're interested in watching that playthrough, come check that out. We'll have a great time over there. But in this video, we're going to go over everything you need to know about the 1.0 update and what you can expect whenever this hits on May the 8th. So probably the biggest thing that's coming to the game is a new in-game zone. This zone is called the Ruins of Mortium. So this is a zone where you're going to venture beyond the lands of man into the shadows where ancient evil stirs. They call this area a conflict zone, so it really sounds like this area is going to promote PvP. There's dynamic conflict events and skirmishes against Dracula's Legion of Noctum. You'll also be able to defeat rifts scattered throughout the zone for exclusive rewards. The Ruins of Mortium zone is also where you're going to fight Dracula, an in-game boss, and then you're going to need to strike into the heart of Dracula's castle, pierce the Shadow Realm, and cut down history's greatest tyrants and claim ultimate supremacy. And then outside of the Dracula boss fight, you're also going to be facing off against another new enemy, the fearsome Draculan monstrosities. You'll also battle 3 more bosses in the highest order of Dracula's court that include Alina the Hollow, Cassius the Betrayer, and Valencia the Depraved. So hopefully the Ruins of Mortium zone is something that players have been asking for a long time, which is replayability of the game. I think what happened initially with this game is everyone played through it and then you just got kind of bored because there wasn't a whole lot of replay value. Hopefully the Ruins of Mortium will solve this problem and give players a reason to continue to log in and continue to play. That would be excellent. It sounds like it's going to be an incredibly fun time, and I'm here for it. There's also another new boss you're going to encounter, Simon Belmont from Castlevania. It doesn't sound like he's going to be located in the new in-game zone. We're not quite sure where he's going to be on the map, but he is a boss that you're going to need to defeat in order to unlock one of the new weapons being introduced into the game, the Whip. So along with the in-game zone, we're also getting some world improvements to some of the already existing zones. So Farbane Woods and Dunley Farmland specifically are getting some improvements. So you're going to be able to dive into the heart of these zones and unearth the legend of Dracula's demise, where the iconic Vampire King was defeated centuries ago by the Church of Light. That's what's stated on their website, so I'd assume there's going to be some new points of interest in those areas, along with hopefully some other new stuff to explore. There will be a dynamic event coming into the game called Cargo Travelers. So on their website, it states that the arrogant humans are now traversing the world carrying precious cargo from location to location. You're going to satisfy your thirst for blood and valuable loot at the same time by intercepting their caravans and further rise to your power. It sounds like these are just going to be dynamic events that happen, or random events rather, that happen whenever you're running through the world. And I would imagine they'll be gear score based. I don't know that for sure, but it would make sense for these things to be gear score based. So whatever zone you're in, it would tie into the gear score, or roughly the gear score of that area. And then the loot would be corresponding to that. I have no idea if that's how it's going to work, but I would assume it'll be something similar to that. Either way, we know we just need to take out the caravan and get some valuable loot. That'll be a fun little activity for us to do as we're running around the world. And on the topic of world improvements, there's also been a lot more love put into the visuals of the overall world. So they said the wilds have been sprinkled with touches of additional flavor and life to enrich the setting. So there's a new light engine that they have incorporated into the game, and it lets them better handcraft the moods all across Vidorian. So I'm very excited to see what that looks like, and very excited to see how this plays out across the world. I think the world was already beautiful. It was an amazing landscape and an amazing world, and I think this is just going to make it a whole lot better, or at least it sounds like it's going to be a whole lot better. And one of my favorite additions to the game coming with 1.0 is the ability to relocate your castle. If you create your castle somewhere in like Farbane, for example, you're not going to have to go rebuild your entire castle in one of the in-game zones, one of the later areas. You're going to be able to use one click of a button and relocate your entire plot in the world to any other available plot by laying down the framework and then pressing one button. That to me is an incredible quality of life change, and one that I am super excited to have in V-Rising. And then we have another massive feature coming into the game. I know this one was highly requested. They have added new difficulties into V-Rising. So you can now play on a relaxed mode, which is really just going to be an exploration / building mode with some very easy combat. You can play it in standard, which is just a normal version of the game. So it's focused on exploration and building, but there is going to be challenging combat incorporated. Then there is a new brutal mode. So you're going to face devastating challenges in a world with evolved adversaries. So in my understanding, a lot of the bosses on brutal will have new mechanics, or at least a lot harder mechanics. And that's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out as we encounter those bosses. It should be a pretty fun challenge. This was something I seen requested a lot back whenever this game first went into early access. So I think this also should help with some of that replayability for the game moving forward. So another really huge change coming into the game is the improved magic system. So before, you had to kill certain V bosses in order to get certain spells or certain abilities unlocked. Well, now whenever you kill a V boss, you're going to get a point. You're going to be able to spend that point in order to unlock a specific ability. So after you kill a V boss, you'll be able to unlock whatever ability you want that suits your play style. This is going to unlock a whole lot of possibilities for you, and it's going to really improve the early game. It's a huge quality of life feature that I think is going to be amazing. So now we'll be able to actually level up our character or put points in whatever we want to put them in, versus having to specifically go take out a V boss and having that stagnant progression. And then, as I mentioned before, there is a new weapon coming, the whip, which I have to defeat Simon Belmont to get. And then there's also a longbow coming into the game. Not sure how you're going to unlock the longbow just yet, but that is the second weapon coming in. So we're going to get the whip and the longbow along with the release of 1.0. We are also going to be getting some new unique weapons. So you're going to be able to conquer all the obstacles with a new arsenal of Apex legendary weapons, and each one is specifically tailored to a different play style. So we're going to get some new Apex weapons, which should be a lot of fun. And then with the Apex weapons, there's going to be an ancestral weapons upgrade. So you're going to be able to now forge upgrades to those legendary weapons to keep up with your progress. So this now means you don't have to choose between a new tier of tool and your favorite set of weapons. We're also getting a new form that you can transform into, and it is spider form. This is going to allow you to give your enemies the slip, and it's going to protect you from the burning rays of sunlight because you can burrow into the ground and hide in the soil. So that's going to be a kind of a nice transformation to have. And then, of course, we're getting some new armor as well. You're going to be able to elevate your gear score with this armor. It's a new level of equipment. And then on top of the armor, we're getting new customization options, which I think will be very nice. I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy this. You're going to be able to play some Fashion V Rising because you're going to have a lot of new options to choose from. You're going to be able to dye your gear now, and you're going to have 10 plus new armor sets to mix and match however you like. So that's a really good addition to the game. Tons of people really like to look good as they play through the game. I know I'm one of those people. So this will be a really fun thing to play around with as well. And then some other really notable things coming into the game is some new item management. You're going to be able to craft new advanced stations that's going to craft at massively increased speeds, and you're going to be able to enjoy multiple UI improvements to make the whole process much smoother. I think the UI in V Rising is already pretty good, but having some new improvements to it never hurts. So I'm excited for that, as well as being able to craft super fast with these new advanced stations. I think those are great quality of life additions to the game. And then, of course, we're getting a ton of new castle decorations, as well as a music player that you can put into your castle that's going to play a lot of melodies of Vidorian or just of the game. And you're going to be able to just sit there and immerse yourself in the music while you lay in your castle if you so choose. There is also gamepad support coming into the game. So if you're a controller player, you're now going to have that fully incorporated into V Rising, which I know is quite exciting for a whole lot of people. There's a new achievement system coming into the game if you're an achievement hunter. And then there are some new music tracks coming into V Rising as well with the release of 1.0. So that'll do it. That's everything that's coming into update 1.0. We're getting a lot of stuff, primarily the new in-game zone, the Ruins of Mortium. I'm incredibly excited about. That's going to be a lot of fun to play through. I don't know exactly what all that's going to entail, but I know we're going to fight some new bosses and hopefully have a replayable zone or something that has a lot more replayability to it. I am very excited for it. Again, I will be playing a lot of V Rising. I will probably be posting some V Rising videos here all the way through that playthrough as well. If you guys are interested in V Rising, please make sure to like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that. And we will be having a server, a Studio Loot server. If you're interested in playing on a 4-man PvP server, come check it out. I'll post a link to the Discord down below. And on the 8th, whenever that server opens up, all the information will be out there in our Discord, and anybody's welcome to join. Just don't be a jerk. That's all we ask, or else you'll get booted out of there. But it's going to be 4-man teams. PvP will be on, but no base rating will be allowed. That's going to do it for this one, boys and girls. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoy V Rising, please come make sure you check out the Twitch channel as well. It's twitch.tv/BDLG. We'll be playing every Wednesday through Thursday, streaming V Rising over there on that channel. But thank you guys again. I appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one.